Namaste. Hi. Um, I'd like to say a few things now about the how we finish a yoga class in our Shivananda yoga centers. We call this the final relaxation and final prayer. And we generally keep at least 10 to 15 minutes aside at the end of the class to do a relaxation and to finish with the prayer. And several reasons again for this. Basically, we are using the Shavasana posture at the end of the class, which we've been doing throughout the class, in between the postures anyway. But when we come to the final relaxation, we combine it with some tension and relaxation of the muscles. So we lift each and every part of the body and squeeze the muscles and then release it immediately. The idea behind this is that you feel the difference between a tense muscle and a relaxed muscle or limb, so that the student is aware of the different parts of the body and that they are now, released any tension that they have created. Once we've gone through the whole body from head to foot, we start the process called auto-suggestion. So here the person should be lying comfortably in Shavasana and with the eyes closed and basically keeping the body still, not in a forced way, but in a natural way. And then the teacher is going to make suggestions, and that ideally the student is repeating to themselves. So we go systematically through the body, starting with the feet and the toes. I'm relaxing my toes, I'm relaxing my feet. My feet and toes are relaxed, like this. Simple statements that the student can repeat. And these statements or these suggestions have been shown to work on the nervous system and to actually relax the nervous system, specifically what we call the autonomic nervous system, so that the sympathetic nervous system is shut off and the body will go into a relaxed state naturally. So this process has been shown to, for example, reduce the blood pressure, reduce your heart rate, improve your circulation, improve your digestion, even reduce things like blood sugar and other biochemical parameters. So it's been studied quite well scientifically and shown to be effective, that relaxation with autosuggestion does have a definite effect on the body. So that's one aspect of the final relaxation on the physical aspect, so that we can avoid many of the problems related to stress, for example. The other aspect, of course, is on the mental level. Relaxation really revolves around the mind. And if we can switch off our mind, then automatically we're coming into a kind of relaxed state. This normally only happens when we go to sleep, during our deep sleep. Generally speaking, throughout the day, our mind is busy with different things and responding to things. So during the final relaxation, giving these simple auto suggestions helps to focus the mind. So we're not allowing the mind just to wander off and just daydream about something. We are keeping the mind in a specific space, basically connecting to the body through the suggestions. And as the body is relaxing, the mind is also relaxing through the concentration. And but it's not an intense concentration, not like you might be trying to do, say, with meditation or any other practice. This is a very light kind of concentration. You're just bringing awareness to certain things, which is nothing more obvious than your body. And by the end of it, the mind comes into a very relaxed state, and the mind just becomes quiet. And eventually, you end up in a state of silence, really. Many people actually tend to fall asleep quite naturally, and that's not a problem, particularly if they are tired and they're not getting enough sleep. They will very easily fall asleep. And in fact, we advise people to use this technique if they have problems sleeping. They can practice this at home in their own beds, lying in Shavasana, doing the tension and relaxation and the auto-suggestion, and then often naturally they will fall asleep without too much problem. So, but even if they do fall asleep, generally it's quite a light sleep. Ideally, the student stays conscious and aware of the environment, and then the effect is even deeper. Just 5 or 10 minutes of quiet like that with consciousness is equivalent of maybe an hour or two of sleep, actually, how it refreshes you, without getting all the feelings of that tired or sleepiness afterwards. Usually after the sleep, we take some time to get back to normal consciousness because of the sleepy feeling. But if you are able to stay awake, you don't have that issue of feeling sleepy afterwards. and you just feel very light and refreshed after this auto-suggestion. In fact, once the auto-suggestion is finished, which will normally take up to 5 minutes, we should leave at least 5 to 10 minutes of silence without any stimulation whatsoever. And the student will stay in a kind of suspended state quite happily for 5 to 10 minutes. And this ultimately brings us into a spiritual level as well. Coming to appreciate and acknowledge that we do have peace and silence within us, that it is something that is there all the time, which again in our day-to-day life we don't really appreciate and we don't experience, but it's there. And doing this kind of relaxation, guided relaxation, brings our awareness to that, and it's there all the time. And this will be a wonderful, you could say, stepping stone to other practices like meditation, so that people would be more interested to go deeper and connect to that inner silence and peace that is there behind the mind all the time. So a very simple technique which can really turn people in a new direction in their spiritual path. So after the relaxation period, we gently bring people back to normal consciousness by repeating the mantra Om. So Om itself is a wonderful mantra. It is what you call universal sound. It's very abstract, but said to be very deep and resonates with us at all sort of frequencies. So we often repeat this mantra throughout the class, and it's particularly helpful to bring people out of relaxation to repeat Om gently 3 times, and then give them instructions about how to wake up the body by slowly moving the body, and then finally coming up into a sitting posture. Before we finish the class, we also include a final prayer. We have a standard prayer, which is various verses taken from the Vedas. And just like the initial prayer, the final prayer is like, the seal at the end to acknowledge that we have been doing a spiritual practice, and that and we're probably feeling that effect anyway, and we're giving thanks actually for that experience. So we're acknowledging our teachers and the higher powers, sacred powers, that we have had this experience, and that also we have intention to share it, to share the benefits. The prayer that we use, for example, from the Vedas, specifically says that, may all beings be happy, may all beings be healthy, may all beings be prosperous, etc. So having done the class, we have built up a certain amount of energy and sensitivity and positivity, and now we have the opportunity to express that and to share that with the world around us. So the prayer reminds us that this practice isn't just about us, it's also about the people that we interact with, that may we have better relations, may we be more positive for other people, and then ultimately just offering that to everyone in the universe, that whatever energy or positivity I've created, may this spread to everyone in the universe. So this is a very positive intention that we finish the class. And of course, we also acknowledge the teachers. We salute the teachers at the end of the class. We chant their names to remember the teachers from whom we have got the teachings. And as a teacher, that's very important because we have surrendered to the teacher at the beginning of the class. So we also acknowledge at the end, thank you for being with me and supporting the class. That's the final step, is to salute the teachers, and generally we will also invite students to give us any questions, if anyone has questions that I'd like to share, and also any feedback, usually on a one-to-one basis. So we make ourselves available after the class for a few minutes, and not to immediately leave the class, but invite students to come to ask any questions or give you any feedback. That's always a nice thing, to make yourself available for the students. So these are a few pointers about how we can finish a yoga class. Thank you for your time and attention, and I wish you good yoga.